everybody, I am going to show you some demos today for the special stitches needed to knit this hat, the Colmena Beanie. It's a variation of like a brioche or a fisherman's rib style stitch. I'm going to show demos for how to work odd numbered rounds and even numbered rounds, and then I'm also going to do a quick demo on how to work the special decreases used in this hat. So here we go. I'm just knitting a small swatch of the yarn that the pattern calls for, Echo Views Botanically Dyed Merino yarn. I'm just knitting a little piece of it, but I'm knitting in the round so we can do it exactly the same as the pattern indicates. So to work odd numbered rounds, you're going to alternate between a knit one stitch and a knit one below stitch. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. In a regular knit stitch, we would take our right hand needle and we would put it into the loop that's directly on our left hand needle to knit it. For knit one below stitch, we're going to go into the loop just below so that you can kind of see the opening of the second stitch below the one on the needle. That's the one we're going to put our right hand needle into, and we're going to knit, and that's a knit one below stitch. And then we're going to alternate to a knit one stitch, and then we're going to go knit one below again. So I'm going to show you how to do this again. So you're going to pass this stitch that's on the needle that we would normally knit into, and we're going to put our right hand needle into the hole right below the stitch on the needle, and we're going to knit there. So we knit one, and then we knit one below, we knit one, and then we knit one below. We do that all the way around for just about every odd numbered row in the pattern. Okay. So next I'm going to show you how to work the even numbered rows, which are purl rows. And on those rows we're alternating between a purl one stitch and a purl two together with the top loop. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Or the tops, it's like a extra little stitch loop you have because of the knit one below stitches. So let me show you a little bit better. So this is a purl stitch, and the next one is a purl two together with a top loop. So as we can see here, this is the next stitch that we want to purl, and there we have this extra loop that's kind of hanging around. It kind of branches off to the left and the right on either side of that stitch. So we want to use our right hand needle to pick that extra loop up and place it on the left hand needle, and then we're going to purl those two stitches together. Alright, so then we purl one, and then we're going to purl two together with the top loop. So using my right hand needle, I'm going to pick up this extra loop. You can tell it's not one of the stitches, it's an extra little piece here. It's not part of the anatomy of our stitches here. So we pick that up, set it onto the left hand needle, and then we're going to purl two together. Back to purl one, and then here we go again. Pick up that extra loop, set it on your needle, and purl two together. Purl one, pick up our extra loop, purl two together. Purl one, pick up that extra loop, and purl two together. Purl one, pick up our extra loop, there it is, set it on our needle, purl two together. You can alternate all the way around like that for just about every even numbered row. Okay, last and real quick, I'm going to do a quick demo of the decrease stitches. So there's a special decrease worked in this pattern which helps to continue the kind of honeycomb style pattern we've got going up here into the decreases, so that you can barely see when we've started working the decreases here in the pattern. So in the pattern, the stitch is called knit one below, knit two together. So normally when we are knitting two together, we go into the second stitch on the left hand needle and then into the first stitch, and we go both times into the loop that's directly looped over the needle like that, and then we would knit two together. That's a regular knit two together stitch, right? Just like that. Okay, but for this pattern, we're calling it a knit one below, knit two together stitch. So what that means is that we're going to knit one below into the second stitch on our left hand needle, and then we're going to knit that together with the top loop of the first stitch on our left hand needle. So it looks like this. I'm going to take my right hand needle and I'm going to insert it into the stitch below, just like I was going to knit one below. But then instead of knitting it, I'm going to take the point of my right hand needle then, and I'm going to put it through the loop that's on the left hand needle for the stitch closest to the end. So I'm knitting one below and I'm knitting 2 together at the same time. Alright, it's a little bit trickier to pull your yarn back through, because it kind of has a journey to make, but with a little bit of practice you should be able to get it. So let's do that again. I'll show you what that looks like. So I have my 2 stitches here on my left hand needle. I'm going to knit into the stitch below for the second stitch, and then I'm going to bring my needle into the top loop on the first stitch on my left hand needle, knit 1 below, and knit 2 together. And that's going to help create those decreases that really blend in with the honeycomb pattern. So let's do it again. I'm going to knit 1 below and then knit 2 together with this first stitch on my left hand needle like this. Okay, and knit 1 below, knit 2 together with the first stitch on my left hand needle. Alright, knit 1 below, together with this first stitch here, and that's it. Once you get the hang of those special stitches, that's really all it takes to knit this Colmena beanie, which I hope you will go and do. Thanks.